Hello everyone, welcome back to Vyasa IAS CSAT course lecture number 51. In this lecture, we are going to see the direction sense test. Now, since this is a part of reasoning and reasoning is just based on your observation and logic, so there is nothing that you can't do by yourself. Okay, it is just that we are seeing the ways of doing it. Hello everyone, welcome to Vyasa IAS CSAT course lecture number 51. Now we are seeing direction sense test. So it is not that you will not be able to like do direction sense test by yourself. It is based on your reason and logic only. Okay. So anyone can do this. It is only that there is a way of doing it in a little bit fast manner. So that we are going to see here. Okay. So we'll see the basic concept so that you don't get confused, and then we'll see the question. Okay. So look at this. There are four main directions. Okay. So north is towards this direction. We have east towards this. We have west toward this, and we have south. Okay. So these are four main directions, and then there are four cardinal directions. So between north and east there is northeast. Between north and west there is northwest. Between south and west there is southwest, and between south and east there is southeast. Now, these are very important. If at the time of sunrise, a man is facing east, okay, so somebody is standing here facing this direction and sun rises from this, so then his shadow will be towards west, okay, then his shadow will be toward west. Now, at the time of the sunset, the shadow of an object is always at east, okay. At the time of the sunset, the shadow will be always in the east if a man is facing the north at the time of sunrise. Okay, so somebody is standing here and facing this direction. Now sun rises from obviously this direction, so at the time of the sunrise or in the morning his shadow will be towards his left. Okay, and at the time of the sunset or in the noon, after 12 o'clock, his shadow will be towards his west, sorry, east, or let's say right. Okay, towards right, fine. So at 12 noon, since the rays of the sun are vertically downward, there will be no shadow. Okay, so remember this thing. If in the morning we are facing towards the north, then our shadow will be towards left. If in the evening we are facing toward the north, then our shadow will be towards right. Okay, so this is the basic difference, and now let's continue with our questions. Okay, now look at this. It is saying Siva starting from his house, goes 5 kilometer in the east, and then he turns to his left and goes 4 kilometer. So 5 kilometer in the east. Okay, then he turns towards his left and goes 4 kilometer. Okay, finally he turns to his left and goes 5 kilometer. Okay, now how far is he from his house and in what direction? Okay, so see, this becomes so easy because it is saying he started from his house and goes 5 kilometer in the east. So just draw 5 kilometer to your right. Okay, and then he turns to his left. So when you are standing here facing towards the east, so left is this one and right is this one. Okay, so he turns 4 kilometer toward his left. Okay, finally he turns to his left. Now left is this one and right is this one. So turn toward your left, goes 5 kilometer. Okay, now how far is he from the house and in what direction? So this is his house. Okay, and he is what, 4 kilometer above his house. So he's 4 kilometer in north direction. Okay, he's 4 kilometer in north direction. So this is basically what you have to do. Okay, this is basically what we have to do. Now look at this second type of question. Now Suresh is starting from his house, goes 4 kilometer in the east. Okay, so he is starting from his house, goes 4 kilometer in the east. Fine, then he turns to his right. Now from here, what is right? Okay, so he goes 4 kilometer in the east. Now this is left and this is right, and it is saying he turns to right. Okay, goes 3 kilometer. So 4 kilometer here, 3 kilometer here. What is the minimum distance will be covered by him when he come back to his house? So minimum distance is this, diagonal is the minimum distance. Okay, so from this point to this point, the shortest line is this only. Okay, so this is obviously what your hypotenuse, and everybody knows hypotenuse is equals to perpendicular square plus base square and under root and under root. So h is equals to under root p square plus b square. So this becomes what? 16 plus 9. So this becomes under root 25. So your h becomes 5 kilometer. Okay, this becomes 5 kilometer. So this is how we do these kind of questions. Okay, now let's look at this. One morning after sunrise, Juhi, while going to the school, met Lali at Boring Road crossing. Okay, one morning after sunrise, Juhi, while going to school, met Lali at Boring Road crossing. Lali's shadow was exactly to the right of Juhi. If they were face to face, what direction was Juhi facing? Okay, so now look at this question. One morning after sunrise. Okay, so this is morning. Okay, while going to school, met Lali at Boring Road crossing. Okay, then Lali's shadow was exact. So look at this question, guys. What this question is saying. One morning after sunrise, Juhi, while going to school, met Lali at Boring Road crossing. Lali's shadow was exactly to the right of Juhi. If they were face to face, which direction was Juhi facing? Okay. Now see, let us like consider Juhi. Okay, so if Juhi is here, okay, and we know one more thing. We know one more thing. What? That whenever it is morning, okay, whenever it is morning, then if you are standing, let's say in north, okay, then your shadow will be to your left. Okay, then your shadow will be towards your left. And if you are like standing in the south, okay, standing, you are facing to the south, then your shadow will be towards your right. Okay, then your shadow will be towards your right. Okay, understand this thing. In the morning, because the sun rises from the east, if you are facing towards the north, your shadow will be this side. Okay, your shadow will be this side, and if you are facing this side, your shadow is towards your left. And if you are facing this side, okay, if you are facing this side, then your shadow will be towards your sorry, you are facing this side now. Okay, so this side, your shadow will be towards your right. Okay, your shadow will be towards your right. So shadow will be always in the west direction. Okay, shadow will be, if you are in the morning, shadow will always be in the west direction. But because you are facing in opposite direction, that will make your shadow like in opposite direction. Okay, so if some person, your shadow will be always towards this side. Okay, so someone is standing towards north, he'll find his shadow here. Someone is standing facing south, he or she will find his shadow here. So for anyone that is true. Okay, now in this question what it is saying, after sunrise, Juhi, while going to the school, met Lali at Boring Road crossing. Lali's shadow was exactly to the right of Juhi. Okay, so that means Juhi is facing towards south. Okay, that means Juhi is facing towards south. Um, Now, if they were face to face, so Lali is facing towards north and Juhi is facing towards south. Okay, and it is asking which direction Juhi is facing. So you can obviously tell that Juhi is facing towards south. Okay, Juhi is facing towards south. So this is how you can do this kind of question. Now look at this question. It is saying Hema, starting from her house, walked 5 kilometers to reach the crossing of Palace. In which direction she was going? A road opposite to this direction goes to the in which direction she was going, a road opposite to this direction goes into the hospital. The road to the right goes to the station. If the road which goes to the station is just opposite to the road which IT Park, then in which direction Hema is then in which direction to the Hema is the road which goes to the IT Park. Now see, there is so much information, then we have to deduce it. Okay, so let us see that. Look at this question. It is saying Hema, starting from her house, walked 5 kilometers to reach the crossing of a palace. Okay, so Hema is living here. She goes 5 kilometers to reach the crossing of a palace. Okay, in which direction she was going? A road opposite to this direction goes to the hospital. Okay, So she was going to this direction, or road opposite to this direction is going to the hospital. Okay, is going to the hospital. The road to the right. Okay, so if she is going here, the road to the right is going to the station. Okay, if the road which goes to the station is just opposite to the road which IT Park, then in which direction to Hema goes to the IT Park? So this is right of Hema. So this is left of Hema. So IT Park is left of Hema. Okay, and see, if we don't draw this, so then it is saying the road to the right goes to the station. Okay, the road to the right goes to the station. So then it is saying that if the road to which goes to the station is just opposite to the road of IT Park, so this goes to the station and just opposite to the IT Park, which goes to what? It goes to the sorry, just opposite to the station it goes to IT Park. So if the station is at right, then opposite to right is left. So IT Park will be left. Okay. So this we don't even need to solve also. Okay. So this is that simple. Now let's move on. Now see, this is saying, now look at this question. One morning, Uday and Vishal were talking to each other face to face at a crossing. If Vishal's shadow was exactly to the left of Uday, which direction was Uday facing? So it is, our clue is here, one morning, shadow is falling in the left. Always shadow will be this side only, because if we are marking these direction, north, east, south, west, south. Okay, so shadow will be obviously in this direction. Okay, shadow will be obviously in this direction. So if Vishal's shadow was exactly to the left of Uday. Okay, so now shadow is this side only. Now when will be this uh, left side? Okay, so Uday may be standing facing towards the north, because then only this will become his left. Okay, so Uday may be standing facing towards the north, then only this will become his left. So obviously it is asking which direction Uday is facing. So Uday is facing towards north. Okay, Uday is facing towards north, and Vishal is facing towards obviously south, because they are face to face. Okay, so this is how you can do these kind of questions. Now let's look at the next question. Okay, now look at this. Y is in the east of x. Okay, y is in the east of x, which is in the north of z. If p is in the south of z, then which is the direction of then in which direction of y is p? Okay, so it is saying y is in the east of x. So we have x, and this will be east, this will be north if he is facing this towards this side, and this will be west, and this will be south. Now it is saying y is in east of x, so we'll mark y here, which is in north of z. Okay, y is in, okay, guys, look at this question. It is saying y is in the east of x, which is in north of z. If p is in the south of z, then which direction of y is p? Okay. So let us like place x here. So if we are like x is facing towards this side, okay. So we have north, east, west, and south. Okay. Now it is saying y is to the east of x. So let's say y is here somewhere. Okay, and it is saying which is to the north of z. Okay, so it is saying that x is to the north of z. So z is here and x is here. Okay, so z is, let's say, let's remove this south. Okay, and we'll put um, here. Okay, so z is to the north of x. Okay, if p is in south of z, so p is in south of z, p is here. Okay, then in which direction of E is Y? Okay, so this is which direction for Y? Sorry, Y. Okay, this is which direction for Y? This is south. Okay, this is south, and that to which south? Is it southwest or southeast? So if this would have been in this direction, this would have been southeast. Okay, but it is in this direction, so it is towards southwest. So our answer is southwest. Okay, but there is answer, no southwest is given in our answer, so we'll write answer as none of these. Okay, we'll write answer as none of these. So this is how we do. Now look at this question. If southeast become north and northeast become west and so on, what will the west become? Okay. So it is saying that we have to rotate. Okay. We have to rotate our axis. Okay. So we have this north. Okay. We have this south we have this east, and we have this west. So we have southeast here. Okay, let's say 45 degree. Okay, so now it is saying, okay, let's draw all the cardinal direction. Okay, so we have this northeast, we have this northwest, we have this southwest. Okay, now it is saying if southeast become north. Okay, so this is southeast, now this is becoming north. Okay, so let me rotate and I'll tell you. So this will rotate how much? This is 45 degree, this is 45 degree, and this is 45 degree. So this is rotating 135 degree. Okay, so each of the like sides will rotate 135 degree. Okay, so in this, now we are marking as southeast. Okay, now it is saying northeast become west. Okay, so definitely northeast will become west, because 45 degree, 45 degree, and 45 degree. So now this become northeast. Okay, and so on, west will become. So we have to rotate west what? 45 degree. We have to rotate this west how much? 45 degree. So 45 degree from here, 45 degree from here, 45 degree from here. So west is now becoming what? Southeast. Okay, and southeast is there in our option. So our answer is southeast. Okay, so I hope everyone understands this. Okay, so the simplest way of doing this is like just count the angle, because if you will do otherwise there will be a lot of confusion. So what I did was I counted these angles. Okay, that whatever is changing to this, it is becoming for it is moving 45 degree three times. Now I already have this division. So once I like got this idea that southeast is becoming north, then I get this idea northeast is becoming west. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, we are coming here. Okay, now I am getting what idea? I am getting that this is becoming southeast. What will west become? So west will become what? West will become 45 degree from here, 45 degree from here, and 45 degree from here. So that is becoming southeast. So this is how we do these kind of question. Okay, this is simple. Now let's move forward. Now it is saying a man walks 5 kilometers towards south and then turns to the right. So man is walking 5 kilometers towards the south. Okay, fine. And then turns to the right. So if you are facing this side, when you are facing north, your right is this side. So when you will be facing south, your right will be this side. So now he is turning right. Okay. And a man walks 5 kilometers towards the south and then turns to the right. After walking 3 kilometers, he turns to the left. Now he is walking 3 kilometers here. Now what is left here? Here. Okay. Because if you are facing this direction, then your right will be this side and left will be this side. Okay. So after walking 3 kilometers, he turns to the left and walks 5 kilometers. Okay, so 3 kilometers from here turns to the left and walks 5 kilometers. Now, in which direction is he from his starting place? Okay, so okay, let's start from here. So, in the question, it is said to us that a man walks 5 kilometers towards the south and then turns to right. So, we know that our right is this direction. To the right, he is walking 3 kilometers and then he turns to his left. Okay, so right is this side, so left will be this side, and he is walking 5 kilometers here as well. Now, in which direction is he from his starting place? So, starting place is this. Okay, starting place is this. This is definitely south, but which kind of south? Southwest? Okay, southwest. So our answer is southwest. Okay, our answer is what? Southwest. Fine. So this is how we can calculate this. Okay, now let's move forward. Now look at this. It is saying Rahul put his timepiece on a table in such a way that at 6 p.m. our hands points to the north. Okay, so timepiece is there. Okay, let's say a clock is there. Now he's put clock in such a way that uh, at 6 p.m. Okay, our hand points towards the north. Okay, so if you see a normal clock, okay, my drawing is very bad, no doubts about it. So if we see a normal clock, so this is this way, okay. Now if this is 12, this is 6, okay. And in a normal clock at 6, the hour hand is towards what? If we take this as north, so then our hand is towards south, okay, towards south. But it is saying at 6 p.m. the hour hand is towards north, okay. So basically what has happened here, this has become towards this, okay, this has become towards this. And in which direction the minute hand will point at 9:15 p.m., okay, in which direction the minute hand will point at 9:15 p.m. Okay, so now see, 9:15 p.m. Okay, so this has been rotated to 180 degree. Okay, this has been rotated to 180 degree only because earlier it was at south, pure south. Now it became this. Okay, so let us like calculate at 9:15 p.m. where is your clock? So you have at 9:15 p.m. Okay, your um, basically our hand is here and your minute hand is where, obviously at where, here, okay. 9:15 p.m. means approximately this only, okay, because our hand will be somewhere like there, okay. And you have your minute hand here, okay. So 9:15 p.m. it is becoming, okay, 9:15 p.m. it is becoming, fine. Now this, at when this was here, it was east direction, but when you will rotate this 180 degree, so you have rotated this clock completely 180 degree. So this east will become here west. Okay, so our answer is west. Okay, so I hope you understand this, that there is a clock, let's say, okay, now this clock is marked this way, 12 here, 6 here, 3 here, okay, and obviously 9 here, okay, and in between we don't need, okay. Now what he did, he went to his table and placed in this way that 6 is pointing towards this direction, 12 is pointing towards this direction, so 3 will point towards this direction and 9 will point towards this direction, okay. Now uh, in normal thing what will happen, 6 p.m. is here, in here the 6 p.m. is facing this side, okay, and 9:15, at 9:15 it is facing, this is minute hand, okay, 9:15 this is minute hand, and if the clock is rotated, so this is minute hand, so this becomes west, okay, this becomes west. So this is how we do these kind of questions. Now let's move forward. Now look at this question. What this question is saying, it is saying Rasik walked 20 meter towards north. Okay, so he's starting from here, walking 20 meter towards north. Okay, then he turned right. Now obviously this is right. Okay, when you're facing north, so then obviously this is right. So 30 meter. From here he turns right. Okay, from here he turns right and walks 35 meter. Okay, right is here only. Okay, from here he turns right and walks 35 meter. Then he is turning left. Okay, so if you see your left is this. Okay, then he walks 15 meter. Finally, he turns left and walks 15 meter. Okay, so finally he's turning left and he is walking 15 meter. Fine. In which direction and how many meter is he is from starting point? Okay. So he is in the north direction. Okay. He's in the north direction. He's facing the north direction. But he has come where? He has come in the east direction. Okay. He has come in the east direction. From here to here, he has come in the east direction. Now this is 30 meter and this is 15 meter. So 30 plus 15 is 45 meter east. Okay, so he is exactly 45 meter east. Okay, he is exactly 45 meter east. These kind of questions are easier to do. Direction sense test is always easier to do. So whenever you see that you got this in your examination, please go there and do that. Okay, so again we can see he walked 20 meter towards the north, it is saying. Okay, then he turned right. Obviously, this is the right. So 30 meter and then he turns right. Okay, so then he turns right. That means here in this direction. Okay, and he walks 35 meter. Okay, then he turns left. Okay, so from here the left will be this direction. Okay, because if you're facing north, your left is this direction. So if you're facing south, your left is this direction. So left this direction, and he is walking 15 meter, and then he finally turns more left and walks 15 meter. Okay. So now from here to here, because this was 35 meter, this is 15 meter, so this is 20 meter. So this is like at the straight line from his starting point towards the east, and this is 30 and this is 15, so this becomes 45 meter east. So this is how you can do this kind of question. Okay, this is how you can do this kind of question. Now you see this kind. Two cars start from opposite places of a main road 150 km apart. So there are two cars, they start from opposite places of a main road. So there is a main road, and these both cars are starting from opposite places of a main road. Okay, 150 km apart. Okay, 150 km apart. First car runs from 25 km, takes a right turns, and then runs 15 km. Okay, so basically what we can do here, make a main road. Okay, first of all, make a main road. Okay, we are making a main road. Okay, and now they are 150 km apart. Both of these car, let's name those car A and B. Both of these are 150 km apart. This is 150 km. Okay, now what is happening? First car runs from 25 kilometer. So this is running 25 kilometer, and then this car is taking a right turn. Obviously, right turn will be here. Okay, right turn, and then runs for 15 kilometer. Okay, so this car was going on this road, takes a right turn, runs for 15 kilometer. Okay, it then turns left. Okay, it then turns left. So left is which side? This side only. Okay, it then turns left. So this is 15 km which he came from this road, and then he is turning left. Okay, so and it then turns left and run another 25 km. Okay, then another 25 km, and then takes the direction back to reach the main road. Okay, so to reach the main road, actually in which direction he is going to turn? Okay, so this is going to turn to the left and coming back to the main road. Okay, because you're facing this direction, you are coming back to the main road. Okay, so obviously 15 km only, है ना, 15 km they must have traveled to come back to the main road. Okay, in the meantime, due to minor breakdown, the other car has only run 35 kilometer along the main road. Okay, so this car has run 35 kilometer along the main road. What would be distance between two cars at this point? So it's very simple. Okay, this car has traveled from here to here 50 kilometer. Okay, this car has traveled from here to here 35 kilometer. So total both of them have traveled 85 kilometer out of 150 kilometer. So 85 minus 75, how much are you going to get? This will be 5, this will become 4. So this will become how much? This will become 6, and this will become 0. Okay, so 65 kilometer. Okay, 65 kilometer you are going to get your answer. So this is how you can do these kind of questions. Okay, it is nothing but just your observation, draw the thing, and you will get your answer. So this is 65 kilometer. Fine. Um, Now look at this question. Starting from the point X, Jayant walk 15 meter towards the west. So there is a point X, Jayant walked 15 meter towards the west. Okay, let's mark it here. Okay, so this is point X, and he is walking 15 meter towards west. This is the west. He turned left. So from here he is turning left. Okay, so he's turning in this direction, walk 20 meter. Okay, he then turned left and walked 15 meter. So he then, if you are like walking in this direction, what is left? 15 meter here in this direction. Okay, after this he turned to his right. Now he wants to turn to his right. Okay, and walk 12 meters. So he's walking 12 meter here. Fine. How far and in which direction is now Jen from X? Okay, so he started from here. This traveled 15 meter towards west. He turned left and walked 20 meter. So this distance is how much? This distance is 20 meter. This distance is 12 meter. So your answer is what? 32 meters south. Okay, very simple question. These are the only kind of question we get in these kind of questions. Okay, these are the only type of question we are getting in these type of question. Okay, so fine. uh, let's move on to the next question because there is not much to explain here. Then one evening, before sunset, Rekha and Hema were talking to each other face to face. Now this is evening. Remember, this is evening. So whenever we are in evening, so your shadow will be towards your. So if you are like facing towards the north, your shadow will be towards your right. Okay, and if you are facing towards your south, your shadow will be towards your left. Okay, so remember this direction. Now it is saying one evening before sunset, Rekha and Hema were talking to each other face to face. If Hema's shadow was exactly to the right of Hema, okay, Hema's shadow was exactly to the right of Hema. Okay, which direction was Rekha facing? So Hema is having a shadow. Hema is like facing towards the north. Okay, so Hema is getting her shadow exactly towards her right, and this what is this Rekha? Okay, she is facing towards the south, so she is like able to talk to Hema. Okay, face to face. So your answer will be south. Okay, your answer will be south. So this is very simple. Just you have to observe what it is saying, whether it is morning or it is evening. Okay, fine. Now let us look at this question. A boy rode his bicycle northward and then turned left and rode 1 kilometer. Again turned left and rode 2 kilometer. He found himself 1 kilometer west of his starting point. How far did he ride northward initially? Okay. So a boy rode his bicycle northward. Okay. So boy is riding his bicycle northward. Fine. Then he turned left and rode 1 kilometer. Okay, so he is turning left. Obviously, from here, if you are turning left, you are going 1 kilometer here. Okay, so a boy rode his cycle northward and then left and rode 1 kilometer. Again, turned left. So if you are turning left from here, so basically, which direction you are turning? This direction and rode 2 kilometer. Okay, he found himself 1 kilometer from the west of his starting point. So this distance is how much? 1 kilometer from the west of his starting point. How far did he ride northward initially? Okay, so this is 2 kilometer. It's a no-brainer. This is a 2 kilometer because what it is saying that the boy started from some point X. He rode towards the north and this direction was and this distance was not given to us, and then it is saying he turned left and rode 1 kilometer. Okay, so 1 kilometer we rode fine. Okay, and then he rode 2 kilometer turning left again. So then and then it is saying that it is exactly towards the west 1 kilometer. Okay, so this we know, this tallies, this is 1 kilometer, so this is also what, 2 kilometer only. Okay, so how far did he ride northward initially? 2 kilometers you get. Fine. Easiest of the question. Okay. In direction sense test, you will get these kind of questions only. So now look at this. K is 40 meters southwest of L. If M is 40 meters southeast of L, then M is in which direction of K? See, you can do this in multiple ways. To get everything correct, I will do what? I'll basically draw the directions. Okay. So north we have, south we have, east we have, and west we have. Okay. What directions we need? We need southwest, we need southeast. Okay. That's it. Now it is saying if K is 40 meters southwest of L. Okay. If K is 40 meters southwest of L, so southwest is this direction and let's say K is here. Okay, so K is 40 meters southwest of L. Okay, so K is 40 meters southwest of L. You will get K here and you will get L here. Okay, now K is 40 meters southwest of L. Fine. If M is 40 meters southeast of L, okay, if M is 40 meters southeast of L, so this is 40 meters southeast of L, okay, then M is in which direction of K? Okay, M is in which direction of K? So M is facing here, okay, M is facing here, K is facing here, okay, so M is, it is asking M is in which direction of K, okay, so this is what this is like, this will be 45 degree and this will be 45 degree. Okay, now this is towards the east. Okay, this is towards the east. Fine. So you know that it is asking then M is in which direction of K. Okay, so this is obviously towards the west, and if we look at this one, so this is definitely towards the east. Okay, so our answer becomes east because neither it is in north, it is in south direction. Both of these are in south direction. Okay, so the only direction they are like considering here is east or west. So this one is in the west, this one is in the east. So your answer is east. Okay, so your answer is east. And if you not see in this way, you can see in this way. So like if we place L here, okay. So southwest of K is 40 meter this side and southeast of L is 40 meter this side. Here is M, here is K. So if this one is in the west, this one is obviously in the east for this one. Okay, so your answer becomes east. So this is how you do these kind of questions. Now look at this. A man walks 2 kilometers towards north. Then he turns toward the east and walks 10 kilometers. So this one will be one of the simplest question. See, whenever you get a lot of information in the question, please attend that question because that question will be the simplest. Okay. So a man walks 2 kilometers towards the north. Okay, we made him walk 2 kilometers and then he turns towards the east. East in which direction? This direction only, and he walks 10 kilometer. Okay, 10 kilometer. After this he turns north again and walks 3 kilometer. Okay, again he turns toward east and walks 2 kilometer. Okay, how far is he from his starting point? Okay, how far is he from his starting point? Okay, so basically what has happened here is, first of all, he man walks 2 kilometer towards the north. So a man is walking 2 kilometers towards the north, no problem. Then he walks 10 kilometers toward the east. Okay, let him walk 10 kilometers towards the east. After this, he turns to the north and walks 3 kilometers again. So again north. Okay, and walks 3 kilometers again. Again, he turns toward the east and walks 2 kilometers. Okay, how far is he from the starting point? So let us like name our points A, B, C, D, E. Okay, so basically we have to find the distance AE. Okay, basically we have to find the distance AE. So for that we let us consider this point O. Okay, so we need to know AO and EO. Okay, so this we know is how much, 10 plus 2, and this we know is how much, this is 2 kilometer and this is 3 kilometer, so this is 5 kilometer. Okay, so basically what we have here is 12 square, okay, plus 5 square. So what is 12 square? 144. What is 5 square? That is 25. So under root 169 we get. So we get 13 as our answer, 13 kilometer. There is one more way in which you can do this. Okay, so that is the coordinate geometry method. So if we, I hope everybody is clear with this thing. Okay, there is one more method of doing this. Okay, so we'll let try to know the coordinates. Okay, so starting from here, this point is 0 comma 0, this point is 0 comma 2. Okay, now 10 kilometer in the x direction, so this point has become 10 comma 2. Okay, now 3 more kilometer from here, so this point has become 10 comma 5. Okay, and 2 more kilometer in the s direction, so this point has become 12 comma 5. Okay, now distance between 2 points. Okay, distance between 2 points is given by let's say this point is x1 comma x2 and this point is x3 comma x4. That is given by what? That is given by x3 minus x1 square, okay, plus x4 minus x2 square. Okay, so this will become what? 12 minus 0 whole square plus 5 minus 0 whole square. So this is becoming under root 169. So that is 13. Okay. So there are in two ways of doing this thing. Either you take the coordinate method. So we are putting our starting point here. So we are getting 0, 0 here. Okay. Then we are moving forward in the north direction. So only at y-axis we are moving. So this coordinate is 0, comma 2 for me. Now I am not moving in y direction. I am only moving in this direction. So I got this 10 comma 2. Okay. Now I'm only moving in not in y direction. So this point is 10 comma 5 for me. I'm only moving in this direction. So this point become 12 comma 5. Now distance between this 0 comma 0 and 12 comma 5. So in school we know that distance between 2 points, okay, is given by what? Under root, okay, x1 minus x2 plus, sorry, x2 minus x1 plus y2 minus y1. Okay, so that we come to know 12 minus 0 ka whole square and then 5 minus 0 ka whole square. So that is 144 plus 25. So that is under root 169. So that is 13 only. Okay, so that becomes 13 kilometer. So this is how we do these kind of questions. Okay. Now let's move forward. Now look at this. The length and the breadth of a room are 8 meter and 6 meter respectively. A cat runs along all the four walls, finally along a diagonal order to catch a rat. Okay. How much is the total distance is covered by the cat? Okay. So there is a room, it is having length and breadth, and now cat is chasing a rat. Okay, so obviously length is let's say 8 meter. Okay, so this is the breadth, this is 6 meter, this is 8 meter. Okay, diagonal is what? Diagonal is your hypotenuse only. So that is, this is under root of 8 square plus 6 square. So this is what? 8 8 is 64 and 64 plus 6 square is 36. So under root 100. So this becomes 10. Okay. So the cat is running how much? It is running along all four walls. So 8 meter, then 6 meter, that means 14. So 28 plus 10, because now again 8 meter and then 6 meter and then what? Then along the diagonal. Okay, and finally along a diagonal order to catch a rat. Okay, so only one diagonal, then 38 only. Okay, then 38 only. So this is how you get your answer. Very simple. Okay, in these questions are really very simple. Okay, fine. Now let's move on to the next question. I don't think you need any more practice than these for your direction sense test. Okay, because this is more than enough. Now some boys are sitting in three rows, all facing north, such that A is in the middle row, P is just to the right of A, but in the same row, Q is just to the behind of P, while R is to the north. In which direction of uh, uh, R is Q? Okay, so some boys are sitting in three rows, all facing towards north. Okay. So three rows means, what do you mean by row? This you mean column. If this way they are sitting in a column. Okay. If way they are sitting in rows. Okay. So now everybody is facing towards north. There are three rows. So it is saying such that A is in the middle row. So let's place A here. P is just to the right of A. Okay, but in the same row. P is just to the right of A. So if we place A here, so P is just to the right of A, he is here in the same row. Q is just behind of P. Okay, so Q is here. Q is just behind of P. While R is in the north of A. R is in the north of A. Okay, fine. Now it is asking in which direction of R is Q. Okay, in which direction of R is Q? So basically, this is north, this is south, this is southeast. So we have southeast as our answer. Okay. So this is the simplest kind of sitting arrangement question actually we are having here. Okay. So definitely, direction sense test will give us benefit in what? Um, in sitting arrangement type of questions. Okay. Okay, so we get this is in the southeast of Q. See this once again. It is not very difficult. We draw three rows, one, two, and three. Okay. Now it is saying A is in the middle row. We put A in the middle row, and now it is saying P is just to the right of A. So right of A is here because they are facing towards north only. Okay. Now it is saying Q is just behind of P. Okay. Sorry, this is P. Okay, Q is just behind of P, so put Q here. And while R is in the north of A, so we put R here. Now, in which direction of R is Q? So this direction is nothing but southeast. So our answer is southeast. Okay, very simple question. Again, let's move on. One morning after sunrise, Vimal started to walk. Okay, during this walk, he met Stefan, who was coming from opposite direction. Okay, Vimal watched the shadow of Stefan to the right of him, to which direction Vimal was facing. Again, see, it is sunrise. So the sun is here, your shadow will be this side only. Your shadow will be this side. Okay, now who is watching? Vimal watched the shadow of Stefan to the right of him. Okay, so Vimal is seeing the shadow of Stefan to the right of him. So if Vimal is facing this side, then this side is the right for him. Okay, if Vimal is facing towards south, then this side will be the right for him. So that way, Vimal is facing towards south. Okay, so we don't like have to consider anybody. Okay, we'll consider if there is like shadow, if there is morning, shadow will be this side, and this side is right or left for Vimal. So this side is right for Vimal. Okay, so that means he's facing towards the south. We get our answer south. Okay, so this is that simple. Now see, P started from his house towards west. Okay, so started from his house and he is walking towards west. Okay, after walking a distance of 25 meter. Okay, after walking a distance of 25 meter, he turned right. So turning right here, walk 10 meter. He then again turned to right and walked 15 meter. He then again turned to right and walked 15 meter. After this, he is to turn right at 135 degree and to cover 30 meter. Okay. Guys, look at this question. It is saying P started towards his house from towards west. Okay. After walking a distance of 25-meter, he turned right. Okay. So he is basically first walking towards this direction and then turning towards right. So we obviously know this is the right direction. And then walk 10-meter. He then again turned right. Okay. So walking this and walked 15-meter. After this, he is to turn right. So, okay, after this, he is to turn right. Okay, so we are like turning right. Okay, now right is which direction? Right is this direction only. Okay, right is this direction. But we have to like do 135 degree. Okay, so 135 degree, like if we are turning, okay, so this is right and we are trying to turn 135 degree. Okay, because this is 90 degree and this is 45 more, so 135 degree. Now this direction is becoming what? Southwest. So this answer also becomes what? Southwest. Because in which direction should he go? So he should go to the southwest. Okay, he should go to the southwest. Fine. So for example, if you are moving right, so your 90 degree will be this, and if you have to move more right. Okay, more right, so you will cover 45 degree more here. So that will be right. If you are going this direction, then that will not be right. Okay, that will be left. Okay, that will be left. Fine. So this will be southwest. So I hope you understand this. If it is saying that you have to move like left, okay, so left you are moving in this direction. Now it is saying if you have to move 135-degree left, okay, so 135-degree left will be what? Left is which direction? Left is this direction because 90-degree are moving this way. So 135-degree left will be this way. Okay, 135-degree left will be this way. Okay, this will not be 135-degree left. Okay, so pay attention in these things. So we get southwest. Okay, we don't get southeast. Okay, we get southwest. Okay, fine. Um, okay. Um, So let's look at this question. X started to walk straight towards south. So walking towards south. After walking 5 meter, he turned to the left. So he's turning to left. So left is this direction and walked 3 meter. Walked 3 meter. Okay. Fine. After this, he turned to right. So again turning to right, walked 5 meter. Now to which direction X is facing? Okay. Which direction he is facing? This is south only. Okay, this is south only. Fine. This is south only. You know. See, this person has moved in the southeast direction, but it is facing south direction only. Okay. So be very clear with this thing. This is a very simple thing. Okay, now let's move on to the last question. Okay, so Hemant, in order to go to the university, started from his house in the east. So his house in the east, and uh, guys, look at this question. It is saying Hemant, in order to go to the university, started from his house in the east and came to a crossing. So he's starting from east and he's coming to a crossing. Okay, he's coming to a crossing. The road to the left ends in the theater. So where is left of this is this? Okay, left here. So here is the theater. Here is the theater, and straight ahead is the hospital. So here is the hospital. And in which direction is the university? So from here he is coming. From here is the theater. Here is the hospital. So only one direction is left. Which one? This one. So here is the university. So university is where? In the north direction. So this is very simple. This is how you do these kind of question. So I hope everybody is clear with this thing. What is the meaning of direction sense test? Okay. So this is how you do these kind of question. I hope everybody is clear with these. Now we'll meet in the next video.